Hey, Middle-aged gamers, welcome back. You must be excited as we are because we had so many awesome games this past week with Games Fest. I've literally just only watched one stream out of all the streams available. There's the Dragon Age stuff Adam mentioned, and I'm like, oh God, I need to watch it. I just haven't had time to watch it yet. Anyway, enough of me babbling. We're going to talk about all the games we liked and we loved and maybe we didn't like as well. But first, let's jump in straight with Antoine's first game. Antoine, what game got you excited from this last week?
So, of course, if I talk about Atlas, you will say Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, like very heavy and great games. And now we have the next new banger from Atlas, or more precisely Studio Zero, which belongs to Atlas, and published as usual by Sega, the usual partner in crime. And it's called Metaphor ReFantazio. So that's quite a mouthful, right? But that's fine. And it will be released on October 11 on PS4, PS5, both Xbox, and of course on Steam. You can pre-order it today, actually. Hold on to your chair for a second. At the very nice and prohibitive price of $93 for Canadian, right? Of course, for the cheapest pack, and $133 for the Atlas 35th digital anniversary edition, meaning everything you get is a digital. You don't have a nice statue or anything. So that's quite the price, which is a great advertisement. And a little disclaimer: no, I am not sponsored by Microsoft, and second, yes, I love Steam, but in this case it will be available on the PC Game Pass, which, so if I'm not clear for everyone, right, the PC Game Pass is $12 a month. So you download one Metaphor and you get 7 months of Game Pass for free. Or you can just buy it at $93 on Steam and hope the game is really worth it because you don't get anything else apart from that. So, back to the game. Metaphor ReFantazio. I'm going to do the speech from Microsoft here, right? So, it's a unique fantasy world where you will travel alongside your fairy companion Gallica to lift the curse from the kingdom's lost brains, control your destiny, face your fear, and awaken magical archetype powers that lies dormant in your heart. So, that's quite the speech, which doesn't mean much, but what you can expect is it's a Persona-like in a fantasy settings. So it's a very similar art, very similar gameplay, although I didn't so much gameplay in the video, but the music looks fantastic. If you like Persona, if you like Atlas, it's your ballpark, right? So there is no doubt that it's going to be a fantastic game. I just can't wait to play it for free, almost. So honestly, I really recommend that you guys give it a chance. Atlas, honestly, is an excellent studio. They never disappoint. It's going to be a great game. Once again, I believe, let me check again, October 11. October 11, put a red cross on your calendar. This will be the day where you lose me, a couple of weeks. And that's it for me.
That's a pretty strong statement. They never disappoint. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that about any game studio. Is that true?
They never disappoint, Atlas. Just check the list. Atlas is a studio which mainly develop game for the Japanese market. So we do have, for instance, the Shin Megami Tensei or the Persona, right? We got them quite late compared to Japan. Persona started to go worldwide starting from 3. I'm not even sure. It's they take their time. They have a very select clientele. But maybe that's what makes them so good, because honestly, I was looking. They were the one who made Catherine, I think. The one that you played, Adam, you stream a while ago.
Persona 5?
No. Catherine or something? Or
Catherine. Yeah. Catherine.
So
Catherine full body,
well?
Catherine, yeah. Yeah, Catherine's good. I do know that They also do Disgaea, right? Disgaea? No, that's Nippon Ichi.
They do Disgaea?
No, that's Nippon Ichi. Never mind. I'm getting confused here.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought they
You
did
can
that
quickly check
because I was like, I know that I know that
Steam.
sometimes people have been disappointed with this guy, but no, that's Nippon Ichi. That's not Atlas.
You can just, if you're not sure, just go on Steam, click on Atlas, and you will see the list of games they made. And that's my cat who's destroying my carpet, so just give it a second.
No, we can't hear it. Don't worry.
Fair enough. Thank you. In any case, yes, that's my big game, of course, because I'm a big fan of Persona 5, and I actually did not do the Persona 3 reload that I have downloaded a while ago. So I have a lot of Atlas to play this year.
All right, Adam, what struck your eye from this last week?
You mean the next game?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna be done with this one then. So the first thing that caught my eye, there were actually a couple that caught my eye. Dragon Age probably was the one that caught my eye the most, but I'm not going to be talking about that one today, strangely enough. What I'm going to be talking about first is actually, let me make sure I get the name right, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. So this is continuing on with the whole turn-based is back thing, just like Antoine's game. So this game is a turn-based. They say it's kind of an evolution of the JRPG because what's going to happen here is, and also going back to, I'll just add something on to what Antoine said earlier. In Metaphor, the way they're actually kind of evolving the same thing because they said with smaller enemies, you can fight them in real time. It's only the bigger enemies that you're going to go into the turn-based fights. So that way you're not just going in and out and in and out and in and out. What they're doing in this game to kind of evolve the turn-based JRPG is they're making it that things like parries, counters, dodges, I think also maybe possibly combos are all done in real time. So you still have your characters lined up, you still select what attacks they're going to do, but when an enemy attacks you, you can hit a certain button to help your characters dodge that attack. Or if you attack them, you can hit buttons to, keep combos going or that sort of thing. So it's not just, sit back, click a button, watch the character go. You're actually actively engaged in the fight. And the story of this game is that every year there's a woman, I'm assuming they say she, called the Paintress, and she will paint a number, and everybody of that age will basically be Thanos'd away. It'll turn into dust and fade off. And so this is Expedition. Last year was 34. This year is 33. So you're Expedition 33. And every year they send a group of people off to the continent where she is to try to stop her from painting these numbers, because every year it goes down. It was 34 last year. This year it's 33. So yeah, you're trying to stop her from basically slowly killing off everybody. I'm not quite sure how the logistics of that work, because if you're going down a number every time, it would seem like you would be skipping a year, because if I'm 34 this year and you're 35 and the next year you hit 34, but now I'm 35. So, did I survive that? I don't really know. We're gonna have to play the game to find that out. But yeah, it looks really interesting, really pretty. The graphics are really good. So really looking forward to this one.
Why did you choose this over Dragon Age as your first game? Like, why didn't you want to talk about Dragon Age?
So I chose this one over Dragon Age because Dragon Age, it's so different than the previous ones. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what have they done to Dragon Age? I sent you the text, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched, there's actually a second Dragon Age trailer, and I watched the second one. It's a gameplay trailer, and the gameplay of Dragon Age does look the same as what we're used to, and the tone of it was much closer to previous Dragon Age. The first trailer they showed, the tone was very different than what most Dragon Ages have been in the past in game. But yeah, the graphic, the style they went with is just so odd. I have a picture here to show. Just you guys won't be able to see it, but other people online are going to be able to see this. Let me just show you real quick the difference between the way the art direction of an old Dragon Age versus the new Dragon Age. Let me pull that up real quick. Here we go. And where did I put it? Here.
This might be a little mini segment that we released as well.
Yeah.
Why not Dragon?
Yeah. So here we go. Hang on. All right. So this is they fight a pride demon in the game, this is what a pride demon looked like in the previous. You guys can't see this, but other people online can see it. This is a pride. On the left is a pride demon from the previous Dragon Age games, and on the right is a pride demon from this game. And in the older ones, it looks very similar to. What are those guys in Destiny called? The Hive. It's kind of this chitinous, monstrous thing, with these glowing, multiple like spider-like eyes on its face, and it's kind of this big hulking thing. Whereas in the newer one, it's a hollow shell. It's got like neon lighting all throughout it, and it's got like these neon purple tendrils that are floating off of it. It's flying, it floats around like some sort of wraith. It's very different. There's some things that are reminiscent, like it's got these little horn things on the head, and the arms are kind of a similar shape, but it's very different. They have the style of the game is more has kind of a claymation look to it, like they, instead of going for kind of the realism of the older games, they're going more for that Fortnite kind of style. And the lighting is all neon greens, neon purples. In the older games, you're running around, it's gritty, like in Origins, you're running around, you're climbing up a demon and you're like covered in blood, and the person just is like caked on. And this one, everything looks very, very clean, kind of plasticky, and it really looks different in that it really looks like it's kind of catering to a younger audience as opposed to trying to match the aesthetic of the former games. So because of that, it's just really hard for me to get kind of past it, because I'm like, the older ones had that kind of grimdark feel, and it's like this one, even though the gameplay, like the character dialogues and stuff that they were showing and trying to get to Solus and all that was still the same tonally. Just the visuals of it made it like, it doesn't feel like the stakes are very high, because everything felt very safe in a lot of ways. Because they weren't going for that grit. So because of that, I didn't really want to talk about Dragon Age. But this other game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, has all that. It's got that grit. It's got, the characters are scratched up, and they've got like, blood on them and stuff. And it has that kind of classic, kind of like gritty feel to it. And so that's why this appealed to me way more than the Dragon Age thing did, even though I am way more invested in the Dragon Age story.
We got 2 stories, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, technically, yes. So we've got Adam's 2 videos in one right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a very good long video, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd have to make it focus one on the Clair Obscur, one on Dragon Age.
Well, I was a...
Now he's making me more curious though about the video. I'm like, nah, I'm really gonna find some time to watch it.
Do you guys
the Dragon
think
Age
that
one?
It sounds...
Yeah.
Do you think that the name of the game sounds so much classier because they use French words? I mean, Clair Obscur.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I think it's made by a French studio. I think
Maybe that's why.
yeah, I think it's made by a French studio. Also, Dragon Age. I don't know why they changed the name from Dreadwolf to Veilguard, and I'm like, I kind of like Dreadwolf personally.
Dreadwolf was better. I saw the new name as well. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, Dreadwolf felt better. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the old they used to have a Dreadwolf trailer, and the Dreadwolf trailer did feel like classic Dragon Age. So it looks like it looks very different than it looks like they went in a very different direction artistically. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Very cool. And with that, let me jump into my game. So with Mid-Match, unite the gods, defy Olympus, and rebuild Ithaca in Mid-Match, where your matches shape mythology. And you're like, match, Korean, what are you talking about? Are you really going to talk about a match 3 game on Middle Age Gaming? Yes, I am, because that game just looks fun and casual and beautiful. Art reminds me of the old Disney Hercules cartoon, not the actual cartoon itself, where sort of they had like these storytelling scenes in Hercules. More other games have sort of like a similar art style, but the art style just caught my attention, and I love the idea. And this is not the very first game to do it, right? It's where you're matching for a purpose, right? Whether it's to build a card or to make your unit stronger, and you've probably seen mobile game ads like that. And I love this idea of something being very simple, being hopefully not too difficult in terms of puzzles, because I know some of these like matching games require you to get this, and it has to be, there's only one way to achieve this goal. Hopefully not that, but again, this was on the 1 hour, 48-minute cozy game stream, and this is one of the first games. It was actually the first game that was showcased on that stream. I'm like, and I thought about it, I'm like, yep, I've got to talk about this game because this looks probably like in the $9, $10 price range. It's made by a very small indie team. The demo is available on Steam right now if you do want to play it. I didn't even bother with the demo. Automatically add to wish list, and that is my 127th game on my Steam wish list at the moment. So you've probably seen the video, right? So what is this game about? So rebuild Ithaca, work with mortals to gather resources, craft materials, and build a new Ithaca that works for them. The more you help, the more belief you'll earn, making you more powerful. But how will you use that power? Rebuild the community, right? And again, this is something, again, most, I would say survival games, most cozy farming games, right? Oh my God, grandfather left me a farm, or grandfather left me a house. Go there, rebuild, right? That's what you do, right? Stardew Valley started that sort of stuff. So this is sort of the same vein, but people love that. People love making this whole thing into a new, bright, pink, purplish, beautiful village, whatever you want to do. Maybe you'll help settle disputes, recruit new islanders, or even babysit so they can work. No matter what, you'll learn about the complexities of life in the mortal realm and do what you can to help, right? So this is not just a match, game over, a little bit of stories, match, right? There's different things you can do that do not involve matching. So this is sort of like a matching game, but built on top of a typical cozy, talk to people, get quests, do things, right? And I think it's going to be a very versatile game that is going to have a bit of action. It's going to have some of that typical match play game. It's going to have some cool combat as well via the matching system, but with very beautiful art. And it's going to be accessible. I would imagine this is probably no more than a 10-hour game as well. So this is one of those games that I'm slowly understanding the what is that called? But I can't speak English. The draw of a fuller game like what Adam is playing at the moment. No, but he's playing for Spoken. So, but like, you know, sometimes like when in board games, people talk about, okay, I'm playing this big game of Battlestar Galactica that takes 26 hours to play, and then I'm going to play a small fuller board game and understand the need for that kind of board game, which is another story. But anyway, exciting game. Wishlist it, right? If you're into that sort of stuff, or maybe you want the art, or maybe just want to add it to your collection, right? If this comes onto the Switch, I'd love to get it there. I know it's just strictly like most sort of indie studios, they go to Steam directly. This is just on Steam at the moment. So maybe I would say it's definitely going to come out on Switch 2 or at least Switch 1 or both at some point in the future. And if you like it, let me know what you guys think. And if you want more cozy gaming, check out this video over here. Okay. All right. Already move on. All right, Antoine, game number 2.
Yeah, before I start, I'm having a brain fart. Adam, can you remind me the name of the Korean game with Eve?
Stellar Blade.
And the Stellar Blade. Thank you very much. Jesus, I know this game. Okay, let's start. Okay, so Village Gamers, another game which took my attention last week was The First Descendant. So created by the Koreans of Nexon. Koreans are really, in the know these days with the Stellar Blade they did not too long ago. So Nexon is the very same studio who made Dave's Diver, that you may know because they this game won at the BAFTA or Game Awards a couple of years ago. It will be released not too long. You don't have to wait too much for this because it will be released on July 2nd on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, S and X. That's a lot of console. And of course Steam, and once again, not on Switch. Sorry, Korean. So The First Descendant, what is it? It's a free I insist, it's a free third-person co-op action RPG shooter featuring high-quality graphics. You will be able to experience the fun of strategic boss fights through a 4-player co-op system, same as Helldiver, for instance, and various unique characters, exciting gunplay, and looting. A variety of equipment is necessary for growth in this game, and you can obtain them through clearing scenario missions within the game, or in world mission, or battle huge bosses. And because it's a free game, pretty sure there's a shop to get what you need. You can play, of course, various characters with distinctive concept and battle styles, and gameplay-wise, you can equip a character with 3 guns, 4 secondary accessories, and various sub-weapons. So, you're loaded. The pitch of the game, that would be like, in this game, you become a descendant. You are a descendant, and you are given the mission to fight against invaders for the survival of humans and to protect the Ingress continent. The point being, you need to discover the descendants' secrets. So this game is made with the Unreal Engine 5, and it's absolutely beautiful. To be honest, before the show, I watched the first 17 minutes gameplay you can find on IGN. So if you want to see a bit of gameplay or niceties, if you want to see the futuristic atmosphere of the game, it's really what catch me here. It's on the trailer without gameplay. I really like the futuristic and atmosphere of the game. And what really, the first game I had when I saw this was like, hey, it looks a bit like Warframe. And you know what? If you're a Warframe player, you will feel at home because it's quite similar in terms of mod system, of leveling, etc. So it's all fairly similar. One thing I wasn't able to get, I know that you can play solo mission. You can just put yourself on private, same as Helldiver once again. You can switch between public and private, whether you want to have people join you or not. Do they have a solo mode for this game or not? Just to remind you, a solo mode means that if you play solo, you have less enemies, they are weaker. You can actually do it solo, that you can't do on Helldiver, right? If you dive solo, or if you dive at 4, you'll have the same spawn rate, and the enemies will have the same health bar and everything. So that's the thing that I couldn't find. Do they have a solo mode in there? I don't know, that'd be great. But if you don't, I understand that there's time mission in there, and if you play solo, it's going to be okay at the beginning, but of course, the more you progress, the harder it will be, and you will need to socialize and get people to play with you on this. So we'll see if the matchmaking works, and maybe it's another Korean, game of the year. I don't know. We'll see.
I was just, as you're talking about solo, I'm like, this looks really cool. I would have loved Helldivers if there was a way to play solo that made the game feel fun. Like, I've read stuff about Helldivers playing solo, not that like I've ever played solo. And it just, people are like, no, don't even bother. This game is just, it doesn't work playing solo. Warframe, back when me and my friend Hans played it, like, it was, you could play solo all the way up to endgame content, which was thousands of hours, right? And I'm looking at this right now on Steam, and people are like, yes, solo mode. I have a bad feeling there is not going to be like a good solo mode for this, where it's I've never played a game except Warframe where solo mode was like a viable option. So I hope it does exist, because if it does, then this is definitely something I'd consider, because there's so few multiplayer games I can actually play. So the game is strictly multiplayer only, or yes, you can play solo, but it's more difficult, and I'm not going to consider it. All right.
Yeah, just to add to this one, it looks really interesting, but I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to play solo mode for these kind of things. If I'm doing a solo game, I want something that's going to be really story heavy, and something like this usually is a little lighter on story, more about the gameplay. And for those, I prefer to play with a group. So if I don't have a group, I probably won't check it out. Although I am interested. So, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't been able to talk to Phil for a while. We'll wait and see. I've heard his habits are pretty much unchanged. So I don't know what he's been up to. I'll have to double check. But yeah. So my second game, because technically Dragon Age was not listed of my three, is actually, oop, I hit the wrong button there, is Slitterhead. So Slitterhead is kind of interesting. You play as okay, let's go first. It's going to come out on PC, PS5, and the Xbox X and S. It's coming out on November 8th, 2024, so that's going to come out this year. It's one of the few games that we saw at the Summer Game Fest that is coming out this year, because a lot of them seem to be coming out in 2025. But you play as I don't know if I can pronounce this right, Hyoki, Hyoki. So you are this basically a disembodied spirit. You have no physical form. You also have no memory, but you do know that your entire motive is to destroy these things called Slitterheads, which are these alien-like creatures. If you've seen Parasite or read Parasite, the Maxim, the manga, not the Korean movie one. But although they do have a new Korean TV show about it. But if you've seen that, their heads turn into these monsters. Basically that, these are alien creatures. And you, as a Hyoki, can go around and possess humans and then use their bodies to fight these monsters, and then you can skip from body to body. So you can also use the blood of these people. It's really interesting in the video because it looks like people are actually kind of dispensable. It shows one point the person's like walking and they're like on a higher platform and they jump off and then they jump out of that body and jump into another body. And then they're like walking along the street and you can see the first body collapsed on the ground. So that person died. So it's really kind of a weird thing that, like you're using humans as these disposable mech suits, meat mechs effectively. But yeah, so you can use blood magic. So you can like summon like blood swords, and I think they showed some guns. I don't know if those are actual guns or if it's using the blood magic. By using different people, there's strategies to that. For instance, you can assume the identity of certain specific individuals. That, like, for instance, if you needed to get through a door, but it has an identity scan. If you possess somebody who has the ability to get through this door, you can now infiltrate the door. If you're trying to get into a certain building, and you can possess one of the people that belong in that building, so it's not suspicious that you're not a suspicious person being in there. Also, by hopping from person to person, you can travel really quickly through the city. And also, certain people are what's known as rarities, and if you possess a rarity, they have special abilities that you have access to. So by possessing special people, you'll actually have access to these special abilities. So I don't think Kriyan would enjoy this game. It is kind of gory. I did see when the part where I was like, humans are disposable, where he was kind of like, oh no, But yeah, it does look really interesting to me. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I saw this and I was like, this is something that I'm actually really interested in, and I would like to play. And it does come out this year, so now I do have something to look forward to other than just clearing my backlog this year. So yeah.
Made me think of Matrix, but you're playing the agent, no jumping from people to people.
Kind of, yeah. That's actually probably a pretty good example of kind of what's going on here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was Googling this game as you were talking about it, and I'm scrolling down. I look at this image of this head and all these shit. I'm like, okay, immediately close out the window. I don't want to see anymore after that.
Yeah. It shows like things like people will get like the blood will just out of their hands. They get like Wolverine claws. They have like a guy using a sword. So yeah, I don't know. It is gory, but it's kind of cartoony in a way too. I don't know. It just appeals to me. Something about it is just kind of like, this is sick. I want to play it so bad.
I'm okay with cartoony gore, but like Samurai Jack cartoony gore, or that like Netflix blue-eyed samurai thing, fine, cool. Those graphics are not cartoony. They're like 3D stuff. I can't do it. Nope. Okay, on that note, my second game of today, Age of Mythology Retold. Command the gods and monsters of legend in Age of Mythology Retold become mythic on an epic scale. Yes, gamers, middle-aged gamers, you remember Age of Mythology from way back when, right? And honestly, this is one of the games where I think I would have been in high school about that time. And I had been playing Age of Empires, and I didn't end up playing this. I would have played something else at that point. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I saw this. I'm like, this is really cool. And I looked at the trailer. I'm like, hopefully this is better than the other sort of Age of Empires like remastered. But it looks really, really nice. Like it's sort of like that Age of Empires 4 engine, Age of Mythology in the Age of Empires 4 engine, which is what really impressed me. It is available right now, right? So it's pretty amazing. It's published by Xbox Game Studios, which is surprising. Like why Microsoft published Age of Empires 4? Maybe that's sort of a change in structure. So again, you can pre-purchase it starting at roughly, and again, caveat on the prices, about 25, roughly about 27, 28 US dollars, all the way up to a premium edition, right, which is like a 55 US dollars roughly or so. It does not say like, I mean, usually with a pre-order price, there's a date, it just says coming 2024. It looks pretty much done, just looking at the trailers, looking what people have said about it. So I would imagine I'm like 80% confident this game is going to come out at some point this year. When that is another story. But yeah, so if you've never heard of the Age of Mythology series, right, you could imagine an Age of Empires game. I did play the original one a little bit, not a huge amount, but you can imagine Age of Empires, but you get all these sort of like historically aligned powers, like the power of Zeus and the power of this god and the power of that god, right? Which makes things fun and more interesting and different, right? Like I always felt like Age of Empires, my older brother always put sort of strategy games in this genre. It's just like a rock, paper, scissors approach, right? And I felt like this sort of allowed a little bit of a difference, right? But yeah, so what is this game about, right? Choose your gods from Greek, Norse, Egyptian, and Atlantean pantheons. Devastate enemies by summoning powerful lightning storms, earth-shattering quakes, unleash monsters, and an epic mythological universe. Play with friends, right? And again, this is not new. This is exactly what happened with Age of Empires 4, where you can play with your friends. You can play co-op versus the AI. There's going to be some sort of multiplayer matchmaking system as well. So, and again, being a corporation, right? If you do pre-purchase the game, you get to start early, 7 days ahead. So that's something to take into account as well. Is maybe if you are going to play multiplayer and you don't pre-purchase it and you're waiting to buy it like later, you're gonna be like behind at least 7 days to the people who have pre-purchased the game. So whether that leaves something on the back of your throat, that's another story. But this looks amazing. This is something I want to play. I'm hoping it comes to Mac. Or PC as well as a second stage. I just bought some strategy games on the recent Steam sale. But yeah, if you played Age of Mythology back in the day, right, when us middle-aged gamers were trying to finish high school, what do you think? Are you excited about Retold? Please let us know down in the comments. And don't forget to check out other games we've talked about right here. Okay? Did you guys play Age of Mythology back in the day?
Oh, so much. Yeah,
Adam, did you play strategy games?
I remember seeing Age of Mythology. I did not play Age of Mythology. I was more of a Warcraft person, and most of my friends were Warcraft people. So I might have played it like once, but we mostly played Warcraft. So
I was AOM. Definitely so good. Pricing wise, I agree with you on all the price except in Canadian. So it might be cheaper in US. 25 Canadian, 55 Canadian for the most expensive one. And it says release September 4th.
Oh, nice. Why do we not have a release date and you have a release date?
No. I agree with you. It's written coming 2024, but I looked at the trailer, and at the end of the trailer on Steam, it says September 4th. Like, hey.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's why Antoine works at Cisco, because he does all the hard work.
It's literally on the trailer you gave me, though. It says September 4th. The one that people are watching online right now.
I did not watch any trailers. I just watched like a few seconds and I'm like, pretty.
Like it was literally on screen 10 seconds ago.
You watch a trailer, you work hard. Thank you, boss.
Yes, Antoine's boss, if he watches the video, he deserves a raise, 50% at least.
Hey, Steve, listen to Korean. All right.
Final round. What's happening for the game? The last, but at least not our games we're excited. We're still excited about these games.
So this one is going to be a short story. I'm talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which has a little GameStop pre-order bonus. And it was revealed that it's going to be an exclusive steelbook case. With or without the game inside, usually it's without. The game will launch on October 25th, and it will continue, of course, the story from the Black Ops Cold War with new character. We will return with a round-based zombies, the multiplayer prestige system, and classic score streaks. So now, the question is, will you be pre-ordering Black Ops for the Steelbook, or because you're a big fan of the franchise and the Steelbook is just a cherry on top? Please tell us in the comment, and don't forget to look at our other videos, either here or here, I never know, and click on the bell.
I'm going to question to both of you guys. Maybe you read this news. I've been seeing articles about a new movement system in Black Ops 6. I don't know if you guys read about that. I was really interested, like what, and they were like, this is going to be the future of the franchise, this new movement system. I'm like, okay, what is it about exactly? It was that I saw that the single player campaign requires you to be online for the first time ever. And with Black Ops 6, which is like, if you want to play single player, you have to be online. I thought, which kind of sucked. And then the other thing I saw was, of course, the usual file size is 320.8 gigabytes for Black Ops 6 as well. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on this, because I do need Antoine's video to be a little bit longer.
Sorry. It was meant to be a short.
Because this is going on a long video for next week. That's why.
Oh, because I was thinking 2 long videos and 1 short. That's why.
No, it's all good. So, I mean, like, what do you guys think about gaming file sizes? Does it matter?
To be honest, I never played the Black Ops. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the meme. I love this meme. There's these two, they look like Native American trackers, and the one is leaning down and he's saying, Western developers have been here. And the other one's like, how can you tell? And he's like, 300 gigabytes. Because because if you look at say Stellar Blade what was Stellar Blade, like 30 gigabytes, and you get that whole game,
and
the graphics look amazing, and just like, yeah, a lot of Asian developers are like really trying to reduce the file size and trying to really optimize, and a lot of Western developers these days are kind of like, well, as long as it works, and not optimizing it, which is part of the problem that I've been hearing people on PC have been kind of complaining about a lot of times, where these games are not optimized well, and that's why they get kind of glitchy and things like that. And it's like, and then they wait for fan-made mods to fix it out later. But yeah, these file sizes are getting huge. Was it Xbox recently announced that they're creating a new digital only Xbox Series X, but it's going to double the internal memory size because games are getting huge these days. So I don't know. Oh, and then also they said that what's weird is with Black Ops, is it Black Ops or is it a different game? Where it's Black Ops. The reason it has to be always online is because the textures are streamed in. Or some of the textures are streamed into the game, and so the textures are not saved locally. So that's 300 gigabytes, and that's not including the textures, which have to be streamed, which is why it has to be online for single player. And it's kind of like, what is going on? I don't know. Is the game just a massive world? I don't really know, but yeah, it seems way too big.
It really does.
Yeah, honestly, that's terrible. I mean, looking at South Africa again, they had a recent election, and literally the day after the election, my hometown in South Africa had no power for 6 hours, which means no internet. And then I bought Black Ops for $60, probably $70, right, with that premium price. At the moment, I'd be a little bit angry if I couldn't play the single player campaign. But that's interesting. I want to see how it does. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, Adam, what is your final game for today?
So my final game for today is I forgot. Oh, Wuchang Fallen Feathers, which is a Souls-like, and you are playing as Wuchang, who is the game is named after. This is going to be on Steam, Epic, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. It's coming out in 2025. It is a Soul-like. You are Wuchang, a female pirate who's lost her memory and wakes up on an island in the final years of China's Ming Dynasty, and the island's name is Shu. Darkness has befallen the land. There is a kind of a disease or something going around. It's called ornithopy, which comes from the word for birds, and it's causing people to mutate into these weird bird monsters. So you're going to have various fighting styles, hidden weapons, ancient firearms, even the power of ornithopy itself. So you're going to have bird powers. And the reason that this actually attracted me was because watching the trailer, she's going on about like, oh, you don't realize you're a monster until someone comes to slay you. And that just really reminded me of Nioh 2. And I really enjoyed my time with Nioh 2 because in Nioh 2, you're like a half demon. So, you're kind of seen as or half yokai. So you're seen as kind of this monster in your own right. So it kind of reminded me a lot of that. But then watching the trailer, I was like, this seems so familiar. I feel like I've seen this before, and it reminded me of something. And I went back and double checked, and yes, this game had been revealed, I think back in 2021, but there was a big controversy around it because this is a Chinese game and they had ripped assets directly out of Bloodborne. Some of the sound assets, some of the footsteps. You can watch videos online where they compare. They'll show you like a clip from this game, and then they'll show you a clip from Bloodborne back to back, where like they'll show running, and it'll have the exact same footsteps, smashing boxes, exact same. Even in Bloodborne, I think they also do it in the other From Software games too. But if you get like a counter, it does this kind of like ching, like this kind of shriek sound. This game had that exact same sound in it. Certain animations were identical, like in Bloodborne, you drink the flask, you heal. She drinks the flask, it has the orange light within her, does the exact same thing. So it was pretty blatantly ripped. These assets were pretty blatantly ripped out of Bloodborne, and then they just kind of like changed some of the models and stuff. So there was a bit of controversy around that. Now that was back in 2001, so I can't say 100% that that's still the case. It might be the case where in early development, they were like, we need kind of these stand-in things, like we need a sound effect. Here's one over here. Let's just take that and plug it in, and we'll put it in our own later. Kind of like, in like Marvel movies and stuff like that, right? They'll pick like already known songs for scenes, and then they'll write the music for that scene later. They just need something to set the tone. So maybe that was the case. I have a feeling it's not going to be the case. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I saw the game and it looks a lot of fun, but then it's got this controversy, and I thought that's a story worth telling. So that's why I picked this one.
Good choice.
Very good choice. Sounds interesting. I mean, would you guys play a game like that even with the controversy? I like for me, I think if the game's fun, if they stole assets, it sounds bad, I wouldn't care as long as the gameplay was good.
I played Pal World, so.
What about you?
You have to notice that I never played a Bloodborne. I would have never noticed. So I'm not, I don't deep dive enough in these kind of games to realize, oh yes, I saw that. You really need to have a memory like Adam to realize, oh yeah, I remember that.
Actually, I wasn't the one that caught it. I just remember other people talking about it. And I remember when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah. And then when I saw this again, I was like, this looks familiar. So I remembered, I would probably have never caught it myself. But Bloodborne and Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls has a very, very dedicated fan base who often will put hundreds of hours into these games. And so I think if you're one of those fans, it would be very obvious. To somebody like me, who's more of a casual fan, I played through Bloodborne. I have not played through it multiple times like some people have. I do not have, 600 hours in it. For me, it wouldn't have been obvious, but for some of these really dedicated fans, it is very obvious. And then once they point it out, it's like, yeah, I can see it now. So.
Very cool. And on that note, the final game for today is I have already forgotten how to pronounce it. Ete, right, Antoine?
Ete.
Okay. So this is again another one of the games on the Cozy stream from Summer Games Fest, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful!" If you remember, I played a Taiwanese game focused on art about this couple that met in France, and it was a very beautiful like painting game. And I've always wanted to paint. I have not painted, God, since high school. But yeah, so Ete is a relaxing painting game set in Montreal, however you say that city. Color the city to explore, create artworks and canvas, collect stamps in your album, decorate your studio for full commissions from your neighbors, and unleash your inner artist. And the thing I love about this, it makes art simple, right? Like in since I met Adam and since I saw all the drawings of Adam and all that sort of stuff, I'm like, oh my God, can I be Adam and have all this art skill? And I mean, that's always been my dream. Like my high school art teacher was like a really good artist as well. And like, oh God, if only I could draw, that would change my life. Maybe not. But this game makes it easy. Like I feel like a lot of art games, well, some art games, like, yes, you need to have some sort of art skill in order to play this game. This is just, it's very, very easy to do that. It's all about combining different elements to create this overall picture. And it's not about, okay, paint this stuff and this stroke. And you might see those, they use the little triangle tool to paint things on YouTube or Instagram, and they make these paintings like that. Much easier than that. It is releasing in roughly about 5 weeks or 6 weeks or so. So this is a game where I'm almost very tempted to play this instead of Frostpunk because it looks that nice. But again, another very simple game. We don't know the price just yet, unless I missed it and it's on the trail, like the last game. But according to the Steam page that I'm looking at the moment, there is no price. But yeah, it's a game where you're painting, you're doing things, again, like one of those sort of like, here it is, escape your life. Get into the world of Montreal. How do you say the city? Montreal?
Montreal.
Oh my God, Montreal. Okay. Collect ideas for your album, create artworks. It's just you doing a lot of fun stuff. It's more than just painting. It's more than just a story. It's living. It's earning money. It's spending, and it's all in this sort of wonderful, cool little package, right? Again, made by a studio called Impossible, who I have never heard of. They're publishing and this is their very first game, literally. I just realized I saw this, yeah. This is their very first game. Again, watching the trailer, doing a little bit of research on Monday, it's done. The game is pretty much done. It's just sort of publishing and marketing the game as it comes towards release date. So if you're looking for, again, a fun life sim artistic game, being an artist, even though you can't be one, this is the game for you. And yeah, if you're going to play it, if you're going to buy it, let me know. If you want me to play it and record some videos, also let me know as well. And check out more games like this in this video.
And I suggest that you make like Tiny Glade on that front of
Tiny Glade?
Super peaceful, relaxing. You're painting your old diorama. You know that, right? You can play the demo, which is extremely short. Like you can just play 10 minutes. You can make your little castle flower, your little countryside. Really
nice.
Yeah, I think that you would like it. I would get bored fast, but I do think that you would like it.
Okay. I'll leave the window open. I'm gonna add it to my Steam wish list after this. All right, guys, before we end today's podcast, I have a segment. This is just to build our followers on Instagram. So 2 questions, one for you, one for Adam. Adam, you're already looking at the camera. Antoine, please look at the camera. So the 2 questions are, I'll let you guys choose. What is your pet peeve in gaming? And the second question is, what video game has the best open world mechanics? I guess anyone have a preference of which one you want to take?
I didn't get the first question. What was it?
Oh God, I already forgot.
What is your pet peeve
what is your
in gaming?
Pet peeve in gaming? Yeah.
Pet what?
Pet peeve.
peeve
Something
in
that
gaming.
annoys you, like that personally annoys you. Doesn't necessarily annoy other people, but annoys you.
Yes.
Oh Jesus. Okay, I need to use my brain now. Oh, you can
All right, so
start.
Anton, which question are you going to take? You're going to take the pet peeve, or you're going to take the open world?
Neither yet. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, Adam, what are you going to take then?
Yeah, I can't think. I have some pet peeves, but I guess open world. I don't know.
Open world mechanics.
Okay, so open world.
Yeah, if one wants open world mechanics, you can have that.
Open world. I'm a middle-aged gamer, so I do like the good old open world that you had in Final Fantasy VII, where you can just go on the world map and jump on your ship and go wherever you want. You don't really need the fast travel because you already have a fast ship to go from one location to the other. It fits into the story. It doesn't feel lazy. I do really like this old kind of world map, I would say. Even you can't call that an open world, I know. It's a world map, it's not an open world.
Save it for the 60-second clip. All right, anyone want to go first?
That's all. You can go first. I don't mind.
We'll go Adam first.
Oh, I'll go first.
Adam first.
So which one am I answering?
All right, what is your pet peeve in gaming?
My pet peeve in gaming is...
Okay, wait. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
My pet peeve in gaming is when you're playing a game, it could be a platformer, or it could be an RPG, or it could be any kind of game really, and then they just suddenly switch up mechanics on you and try to make a different kind of game, and the game is clearly not designed for it. If they do a good job with it, like something like Nier Automata, where you're playing this kind of open world thing and then it switches to a platformer and it does it well, then that's really great. Other games, like Korean hates when we were doing Destiny and they switched to platforming because Destiny is not a platformer. Yeah, that always kind of irritates me when they try to throw that in for some difficulty, because it just sometimes feels like it just feels half-baked. Yeah, so trying to switch up the mechanics and for no real reason and just for a really small segment that you're never going to see again in the game.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, I have one.
Cancel. No, I don't want it. Oh, stupid phone. Cancel. Oh. I close this and open it up again.
Actually, my biggest pet peeve is when a game you really love that's not so popular becomes popular, and then the fan base goes crazy, and then you're like, I don't want to be associated with you people anymore.
All right, Antoine, what's your favorite open world?
Not the pet peeve. Not the pet peeve.
Oh, you want to do pet peeve? You want to do pet peeve? You should do, but I mean, because he did pet peeve, you should do open world mechanic.
Oh, but
I can do an open world one.
Say that? Yeah, go ahead then.
All right, we can do pet peeve. I mean, I'll space it out. It's fine. All right. All right, Antoine, what's your pet peeve in gaming? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so what really annoys me right now, and it's especially I feel it on the PC Game Pass, is when you port games from console to computers, and clearly they are not made to be played with a keyboard, and from the first second of the game, you have to remap all the buttons. That really annoys me, because if you plan to port a game on another platform, the least you could do is to at least optimize the control. You can't play a game if the controller are crap, even if the game is great, but that doesn't work for me.
Thank you. Done. Okay. And on that sort of extraneous recording session, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Summer Gaming Fest was, but am I missing something, Antoine?
No. I thought we would do both, like I didn't understand the concept. Sorry, it's late.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's for next time. It's just like someone said that our Instagram Reels, we have a lot of stuff, but there's nothing like people want to connect with you and Adam and me. So it's something that I'm testing out after some people gave some advice. Like, once a week we have Adam's video. Like Adam did the cool thing about Fall Guys and Eorzea or Eorzea. How do you say that place? Comes out with crazy names like that, really. But yeah. So just more personal videos, so I'm going to try and aim like once every podcast we record 3 videos, then 1 week for you, 1 week for Adam, 1 week for me.
Okay.
And that's just 3 30-second shorts, allowing people to understand who is Antoine, who is Adam, who is me, and connect with us on a personal level. Cool. Okay. More now we're really done. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Summerfest. As you might not have heard, because I don't remember I pressed the recording button, next week we will be skipping a live stream, but so Adam's going to sleep. I'm going to probably not sleep because I wake up early anyway. But yeah, stay tuned for some of these videos coming out and being released with a little bit more flashy stuff and videos and trailers and things like that. So as usual, keep track for Wednesday to Saturday, and then next week the same sort of schedule, right? Wednesday to Saturday. And then we will see you guys live again in 2 weeks. Again, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Threads, and follow Adam on Twitter because he is a Twitter beast. And then we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Enjoy your summer. Keep safe wherever you are, and then we'll see you guys next time. Bye.